Hello guys, it's Bishtita Vijay again, and I am going to show another interesting chess match that I just played this morning, and possibly some more. And this is a chess match that I played against Fedebu 92. He is a player above 1600. So this is actually my best rating. So I recently crossed 1626, and I actually crossed 1630. But this is the first week ever in my life where I am probably above 1600. So I'm kind of happy about it. So I still need to work on my discipline. So what happens that I end up playing even when I'm losing, and sometimes exhaust myself. And most of the time, most of my drops happen when I'm on a losing streak. So it's basically I probably need to stop playing at that time. So definitely programming, playing chess, or anything, if you want to be consistent, you need to develop a good habit or good strategy. So this is one of the match where this is probably one of my biggest turnaround match against a very strong player, where I basically lost at the very beginning, and meaning like I lost one of my most important piece. And then I was just playing just for fun, see how it goes, and I was just trying to see how defending can be interesting. But in the end, he made a big mistake, and I just took advantage of it, and I just completely turned around the match, and I felt super happy, and I thought maybe I can share. So let's start with this. So I'm playing e4, he's playing c5 pawn. I'm pushing my bishop to f1 to f4. Then he's pushing his pawn to block the path of the bishop, because typically I would probably like to take my queen from d1 to d3, and then try to checkmate him through. It's probably the most well-known attack. I still need to remember what are the different openings. I can remember the name of the openings. Uh, Getting them known probably is good, so that you can kind of categorize in your mind and play along. So then I push my pawn from d2 to d4. He does not take it immediately. It's protected by my queen here at d1, and his pawn is protected by f8. Okay, and then he's pushing his pawn there at a6. Most likely he's planning to move, planning to drive away my bishop here by pushing this pawn, pushing his pawn from b7 to b5. Now I basically just go a little attacking mode. I push my pawn there, because I didn't want his pawn to come there. Or I just, what was the idea? The idea was that um, I just wanted to clear this path, or I just wanted to see what he does, because if he takes this pawn from e6 to d5, then I will bring my queen from d1 to d5. So I will be on the aggressive side there, because it's another line of checkmate attack through this diagonal. So then he takes it. So what I was suggesting, instead of taking with my queen, I basically take it with my bishop. Why did I not bring my queen there? If I would have brought my queen there, the only thing he could have played is basically he could bring his queen here at e7. If let's say my queen goes here, he cannot bring his bishop here, because that way I'll just take this pawn at f7, and that's checkmate. But he brings his queen here, then that will be a queen trade. In fact, that might have been a really good play for me. That was originally what I was thinking, because that way I am almost I am a one pawn above, and I'm one pawn above. Queen traded, and he lost his castle. I don't know why I did not play that. I just took it with the bishop. So I guess that was not the best move. Now if I think, now he just brings his knight there at f6. I protect my pawn, because if I move my bishop to c4, he will just take this pawn, and I don't want to lose my pawn. But another reason of taking that pawn with that bishop earlier wasn't a good move, because now I just lose this bishop, right? So he just takes the bishop, so I just lost that advantage that I had. So anyway, so I just take that knight with my pawn. Now he pushes his pawn at d6. I I guess I try to activate my knight. That's probably also not the best idea here, but I don't know. I was just trying to play something new, maybe. So he brings his bishop here. The idea is that if I could take my knight here at g5, but he won't be able to take it with his queen here, because that is protected. This square g5 is protected by this bishop at c1. So now I cannot go there, so I go instead at f4. Otherwise a knight on the side, on the corner, is not gonna be doing anything. So I just bring the knight here at f4 to protect my pawn here at d5. Now he does the castling there. Then I basically, the idea is I bring my queen at c3, so that my knight can go to h5 and have that attack. I mean, he would definitely understand it, but I still tried it. But now I make a mistake, I believe. So he brings his rook here, planning that he can just attack my queen by bringing his bishop at f6, and I am on check. So I just lose my queen, and I just miss seeing it, because I have been playing and I was probably tired, and this game I was not playing the best. So I still go for my checkmate plan, because I was probably too focused for my checkmate plan, completely forgetting that he has a check here for me to take my queen. So he punishes me, and I lose my queen. I just have to play this bishop here, or I could probably bring my queen here too, which might have been even better. But he just takes my bishop here. So I mean I am making mistake like almost every move I'm playing here. So I take his bishop there, and I mean typically I would probably resign this game, because there's no way playing this game at least for win, but I just keep playing it. Just having fun. So I just bring my knight here at e2. He brings his knight. He feels super safe. He's good. Like there's no way. I mean, he can lose this game, right? Like I just totally lost my queen here, and then he brings his knight here. This you see, this pawn is not protected. So I bring my knight back here to g3. Then he attacks this pawn with his knight at f6. I bring my knight again at f4 to protect it, but then he attacks with bishop. Now there's bishop and knight versus one of my knight is defending it. The only way I can defend it is basically I did the castle here. Now my pawn is protected by my knight and my rook, so if he takes it, I take it. If he takes it, I take it. Um, so basically he doesn't want to do it, so he moves his pawn here, and I push that pawn, my pawn. I don't want too much advancement here. He pushes this pawn here, and the thing is, if this pawn comes here, then this king side is going to be very open, because this queen can easily come here and destroy me. So I bring my rook to here. Idea is that, oh, maybe if I put this pawn forward, I can still protect this pawn here at a1. So okay, he does the attack there. I don't take it. I bring my king there so that I can take it with my king. He take actually I just wanted to protect the pawn, so I take it with my pawn here, and both of them are protected by my king. Now he brings his queen here, and as you can see, it's a double attack, double line. This a file is open. I'll have to bring my rook there, so that the only thing he can do is he can check me. So I think that's what he does. I just go down, no more check, so he can't come here, he cannot take here. So he just goes back to a6. I basically, at this point, I'm thinking, okay, now this pawn and this side is protected by these two rooks, so maybe I can just bring my king to the safe side here, because there's not much attack going on the right side of the board. But he just immediately activates his rook. I try to go there. I think I make another mistake here, because well, it's not a mistake, I don't have anything else I can do there. I mean, I could have not sure, I mean, from here I could have taken my king to c2, and possibly double rook. I bring my rook here, and but that also doesn't work, because then this pawn will be unprotected, so there's not much I could have done here to protect that pawn. So basically, after he takes it with the knight, I push my rook here so that I can block this rook, because that rook coming here is too dangerous. So he takes my other knight here, so I will have to take it. Then he just attacks my rook. I'll have to take that rook too. He takes that rook. Now basically I am well, I have a knight and a bishop, versus he has queen, rook, and bishop. I guess he could have been in more advantage. He just takes the pawn there. I just bring my king to d2, takes my knight, bring my knight here at g3. He plans to push those or push that pawn, or move his queen, so that I can take it with my bishop. So he protects this pawn so that he can move his queen, maybe possibly here. So I move my king so that I am not on this line, but and also this square queen cannot come here, because that is protected by the knight at g3. So he first wants to drive away my knight so that he can bring his king. So I basically go further along, and then he attacks my knight. I mean, I'm still not making the right move. So now he can bring his king down here to check me, That's what he does. And I just go down there at c1, and he checks me. I go up, and he cannot come here. He can again check me. That's what was his plan was. I mean, this is where he blunders, right? So I move here. He thinks, oh, he's just gonna bring his rook down here and checkmate me, but totally forgetting that his queen is under attack. Just like at the beginning, I made the mistake. So he makes the blunders here, and I punishes him bad. Now the whole turnaround starts happening here. So this is the biggest turnaround. Now he takes my rook there. He's still up, and I just take my bishop. But I started feeling hopeful, and he started feeling a little frustrated. And I don't know why he did that. Oh, he just took that pawn and attacked this knight. I just took his oh, he forgot. He thought that, oh, I would just take his bishop and he would just take my knight here, totally forgetting that I also had a check on him. And I just check him, and I just take his bishop, um, and I am up. It's rook versus knight and bishop. He takes with rook. I come bring my knight to f5, and there's he makes another blunder. So these, I mean, he could technically still win this game before, if he wouldn't do this blunder. So first the queen blunder, then he completely forgets that this pawn is protected by my bishop. Maybe he thought I would just take this pawn and he would just take this pawn, and I just completely destroy him, taking that rook. Now he attacks my knight, comes. It's like all I'll have to do right now is to make a queen. So it's still not easy because he has connected pawns here, so he can easily make a queen. Still, I'm not sure whether I can win this game. So I attack his pawn instead of, so he just activates or brings his king forward. So I just take that pawn, he pushes that pawn, and I just take another pawn. He is basically hoping that these two connected pawns will make him a queen. And I know I at this point I know that he cannot do this, and I just bring I just completely block now, and he brings his king there to take the knight. I bring my king there to protect my knight, and he'll have to, the only thing now he can do is either move this pawn here, but then I will put my bishop here, and this square is protected both by my knight and bishop, and this has a complete free pass. So this pawn here is basically what tells me I can win this game. So I just move my pawn slowly. Okay, I put my bishop. Now he cannot make a queen here, so I am just pushing my pawn, and then finally I make a queen. But now look, I had at this time he still had time advantage over me. Like, I think I was almost quite pretty down, and then he's still playing because he thinks he can win by time. I check him, then I come here. Then because I was low on time, I was playing fast. I check him again, he goes there, and I block this so that I can probably use my queen and my knight to do the checkmating. So I bring my king there, he brings his king there. I check him, I bring my knight. He basically tries to go in that side of the board. So I decide that, oh, I'm just going to first take his pawn and then use all my power to corner him. So I just take it, then he goes there, I go there, so that I can take this with the help of the bishop at g1. I can just go him and corner him on this side of the board, and that's what I do. I go there, comes there, I check him, so he tries to again go to the open side of the board so that he can time time limit within time limit he can win. And I take my knight there, he goes there. Now I protect my knight with my bishop at d4. So that's 72 moves. This is one of the longest match I played. And then I check him. Now he can only go in this square. So now he's there. I started cornering him. Now I block this square also. And he cannot come on this file. So the only place he can go is this or this. And he goes there. I basically bring my king here so that and then he goes there again. I bring my king here so that the only place he can now go here or here or here. So this 3 is square. So I started cornering him down. Now I check him. Now the only place he can go is this to a square. That's what he does. Well, if he would go to this square, he could probably again try to come on this diagonal, but he just makes the mistake of going to 8, and I win. As you can see at the end, I had literally 13 seconds, so he was still at time advantage, but I could checkmate him in 78 moves. That was definitely, I think, one of the longest chess moves. I want to see what's the average number of moves in chess games. Average number of chess moves, 40 moves. So typically, yeah, that's 40 to 50. This is a long game, so this is like very tiring game. I mean, that's why I liked it, that my fight or my defense or my tenaciousness kind of like paid off, even though I did not play well. I think I played really well at the end of the game when I started feeling that hope that I can win. And basically his 2 blunders, I mean, it always happens, like I just made another blunder the game before. So yep, I'm back to 1630 again. Well, sometimes it's probably better not to focus too much on the score rather than play.